Afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the building. I'm excited. If you can see me, oh my goodness, here we go again. Where are my comments at? Where are my comments? Oh my goodness. I thought I had my comments on. If you can see me, if you can see me, if you can hear me, just put a one on the screen in the comment section. All right, all right, all right. Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Shirley Speaks Live. My name is Shirley Z. Jacobs, and I am your host this afternoon. If this is your first time joining me on HAPS TV, put a number 1 in the comments. If this is your first time joining me on HAPS TV, please put a 1 in the comments. And if this is your second or third time joining me on HAPS TV, please put a number 2 in the comments. If this is your second or third time joining me, please put a number 2 in the comments. Now, if you're here and you want to learn how to write a book, or you want to get started on how to write your very first book, guess what? For the first time, beginners, you are in the right broadcast. You are in the right broadcast. All right. So let's get your papers and your pens and let's get started. I'm going to give you a quick overview in the beginning. It's going to be, I'm going to just kind of lay it out for you so you can understand where I'm coming from a biblical standpoint, but also so you can understand why you really need to write. All right. So to get started, I need your participation in just a little exercise, just a little one. Now take your left hand and move it as far to the left as possible, as you possibly can comfortably, all the way to the left. Then take your right hand and move it all the way to the right, as far to the right out as you comfortably and possibly can. All right? Woo, my goodness. So now just take a look at your left, okay? Then take a look at your right. You see it? Left to right. Do you see that? What is that? That space in between is called life. L-I-F-E. It's called life. You are born. Look to your left. You are born. Look to your left. Then you die. Look to your right. Watch it. The middle that you have, right in the middle, you have to give an account for. You just can't leave it blank. You must give an account for what's in the middle. What are you working with? What are you working with? We all are born with a purpose. Everyone who's born on this earth, whether they know it or not, they're born with a purpose. You are born with a purpose. Many of you may say, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. Just take a look at Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, to everything there is a season. To everything, there's a season. And there is a season, listen, and a time for every purpose under heaven. For everything, there's a season and there's a time. Look at it. There's a season and there's a time. Things are happening right here from your left to your right in that middle. Things are happening. Seasons are happening. Your purpose is happening under heaven. You get it? Listen, God does not make mistakes. I'm going to say it again. God does not make mistakes. If you want to take a look at, and I'm not going to repeat them all, take a look at Ecclesiastes 3 and just 1. And that's my proof there. It's a time to be born and it's a time to die. That's proof right there. It's a time to be born and it's a time to die. Again, he says it's a time to heal, it's time to build, it's a time to keep, it's time to throw away, it's time to sow, it's time to read. It's a whole bunch of things in there. But take your time and read them, because every time you don't do anything here, you're wasting time. You're wasting time. Valuable, God-given time. What are you doing with your life? Have you found out from God what is your purpose? Why are you here? Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together for the good to them who love God and to them who are the called. And to them, you are the called. You've been called to what? According to his purpose. It's not about you. It's all about him. So you have to go to God, get direction, say, God, why am I here? What's my purpose? And how do I get started? Are you hearing me? So think about it. Where you living and where I live or where I was raised is not an accident. It's on purpose by God. I don't know about you, but I'm like, God, why you got me in this family? These people are crazy. What is going on? But it was all for his purpose. It was not about me. Everything that happened to you, it's not about you. It's that God can get some glory out of your life. Do you want that? Things happen. You have been called according to his purpose, God's purpose. Some people are in your life just to frustrate you, just to frustrate the heck out of you. You don't believe it. But look at Ezra 4:5. Listen, there were some counselors that were hired to frustrate the king's purpose. Are you hearing me? To frustrate the king's purpose. Who is on assignment in your life to frustrate your purpose? Come on now. Come. If it happened then, it's going to happen now. Nothing's new under the sun. Come on now. Listen, life, living is for eternity. There is an eternal destination to life. Listen, life is compiled. I want you to check this out. I'm getting to the point. Life is compiled of many short and long stories. They are compartmentalized into moments, seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, seasons, times, places, incidents, accidents, experiences, happenstances. And many of you say, what's that all about? What happened? You say, girl, I had an accident this morning on the way to work. Girl, you're not going to believe what happened to me. Guess what I experienced today? They're telling you what's going on in the middle. And it depends on what's going on in the middle and how long it's been going on. if you have a story or not. All right, you got your papers and pens. Beginners for writers. Number one, your title. What's your topic? What you gonna talk about? Is it gonna be an incident? Is it gonna be an accident? Is it gonna be a happenstance? Is it gonna be a time, a season? What are you gonna talk about? You have to know your topic. All right. Listen. Then you got to study it. So you want to ask yourself some questions. So you want to say, what happened? What happened with this experience? What happened to you as a child? What happened to you as a teenager? What happened to you as a grown woman or man? Who wants to know? Is it worth putting it in a book? Will it help somebody? Will it aid someone? Will it give someone else a second chance on life? Will it give someone something to just hold on to? So what happened? Be creative. That's number two. Number two is what happened. Number three is, when did it happen? You got to do your research. You may have forgotten. You may have to ask some people, do you remember when I did so and so? Do you remember this happened to me? Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? If you don't write a journal on a daily basis, you have to ask somebody for that information. Your grandparents, your parents, your siblings. And if you don't have any, you need to start journaling so you can create a story. All right. Number four, where did it happen? Where did it happen? Where did it happen? Research that in detail. Number five, how did it happen? How did it transpire? What was I doing there to make this happen? Or was it a purpose? Think about it. Number six was, why did it happen? Did I give you, what I give you? Four? I don't know what I gave you now. Okay. Four was, where did it happen? Five is, how did it happen? Number six is, why did it happen? I remember when I was going through a situation with my daughter. My daughter was sick, I mean, deadly sick with spinal meningitis at 13 months old. I mean, she was sick. I mean, sick. She couldn't open her eyes. She wasn't moving. She was barely breathing, barely had a pulse. And I said, God, I'm doing what you called me to do. I'm praying every day, 3 hours at a time. I'm singing. I'm teaching the word. I'm reading the word. I'm praying for people. I'm doing what's right. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do at home. Why is this happening to me? Do you know what he told me? Why not? Why not? Okay, I was done. I just dried my little tears and kept it moving. Experience was an incident that happened. Number seven, who did it happen to? Was it you? Was it somebody you knew? Was it a relative? Was it a friend of yours? Was it your husband? Was it your children? Who did it happen to? Do your research. Number eight, and closing, is a bonus. Could what happened been prevented? Could what happened been prevented? Research that. What if I didn't do this? What if I didn't say this? What if I didn't go there? What will the outcome be? Now, you want to get as much information as you possibly can on each and every subject from 1 to 8. You just want to research. You just want to start writing. Are you just writing? You're just writing. This is your story. Can't nobody tell your story like you. Can't nobody tell your story like you. There's nothing dangerous about writing, nothing scary and spooky about writing. Just start writing. You can erase, you can cross out, you can be on a computer, you can say delete. This is your story. You can have a true story, or you can have a non-true story. Is it believable? Will it sell? You just want to write. Now, how many of you think that you can get started writing today? Just get started writing today. How many of you can do that? Start with one section at a time. Section 1, section 2, section 3, and so on and so forth. Then what about just do a page at a time? Just do a page at a time, one page at a time. I mean, if you keep writing, you'd be surprised what the mind can conceive. See, the problem is we're thinking about our own little minds. But when you pray and before you start writing, say, God, I want you to anoint this writing. I want you to bring back every memory of 1 to 8. And I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Help me with the research. When you begin to ask God for things, He begins to multiply and begin to give you more than you've asked for. So you go from 1 page to 2 pages, from 2 pages to 3 pages. And before you know it, you got 10 pages on just number 1. Before you know it, you got 15 pages on just number 2. And by the time you get to 8, you got at least 80 pages. You go, oh, that's a mini book. Go back and read it. Might want to add something. You might have left something out. Research some more, whatever. But you've got this. You can do this. Hey, Elvita, thank you for joining. God bless you. I just know that beginners, for writers, that they think they can't do it. But how do you eat an elephant? I wished I had an elephant up here. I wished I had the video. It's just bite it. Bite the leg, 1 leg, 2 leg, 3 leg, 4 leg. Bite the trunk, bite the ear, bite the other ear. 1 bite at a time. And after it's done, the elephant is gone. What's your elephant? 1 bite at a time. I gave you 8 steps on how to begin writing. Begin to take those steps, follow those steps, and you're on your way. I want to thank you so much for joining me for my broadcast. I pray that you will put paper to pen and the power and purpose so that God will get nothing but glory out of your life and your writing. Have a great evening. May the Lord bless and keep you. May heaven's face truly shine upon you. May the Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Thank you and good night.